the boom. No, literally, co-host went to the theater strapped with dynamite because he had to go see a Kevin James movie.
And I gave it a fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, you better go jihad on him, but we talked you out of it.
And all I read in the title card was, "Here comes fucking fucktard Kevin James again."
Oh, now come on, that's your best friend's best friend. Now, come on,
no.
How can you hate the replacement Chris Farley?
Or fat Jeremy Piven.
I can hate them all equally. Believe me, there's a lot of hate in my heart.
Wow, I'm looking at him right now, and he does look like.
He doesn't just look like him; he sounds like
He
him
looks
too.
like Jeremy Piven in a fat suit right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That and a retarded Homer Simpson. If that could get any more retarded.
Come on.
Yeah, and plus Jeremy Piven has talent.
Yeah, that's true. I don't want to besmirch Jeremy Piven.
I actually didn't think this movie was that bad.
Actually, you know what? We shouldn't discount being a fat guy who falls as not being a talent.
I get drunk
man.
Actually, we can. We totally can. Okay, so Corey, you didn't see this movie, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
No, I guess you did see
Yeah.
it.
Oh, okay.
I saw 2 minutes of it on the internet right
Oh.
now. It's called a trailer.
Okay. Oh my God.
You're luckier than I am.
Let's get ready to pirate the movie.
I ain't going to see this shit. That's what y'all are for.
Yeah, it is funny. Like Kevin James' whole thing is, I'm a fat guy who falls down.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm always like,
thank you, good night.
Yeah, I'm always like, where's his writing partner, the fucking banana peel? I mean, where is that guy? Let me, before we start the review, let me just say, I know I have a reputation for hating this fucking guy. That's my problem. I did want to be very fair to this movie.
Sure.
I mean, sure, he did something that I tolerated, which was Hotel Transylvania.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe something will happen with the next movie he comes out with. And I'm like, I told myself, I'm going to give this guy a chance. I'm not just going to bring all my hate to the fucking theater. But fucking A, is it this guy makes it so fucking hard for me to enjoy looking at him on the screen doing anything, because immediately as the movie starts, it's all about terrible jokes and just shit that doesn't work.
There were jokes?
Oh, yeah.
Because that changed everything. Because I kept thinking that felt like a setup for a joke, but there wasn't a punchline, so maybe there wasn't.
He doesn't understand basic setup punchline mechanics.
There's definitely
like burp, 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 burp. It's like, no, you actually, God damn it.
No, there's definitely some punching going on, because it's like me getting punched in the face every time those jokes fall flat.
So this is not a Happy Matamore.
Oh, it is.
Happy.
There's like 3 different names on it, but it's a Happy Madison.
Are you
Is
sure?
it a Happy Madison?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When it opened, it was like it was like 3 names all sandwiched together, but the last part of this production was Happy Madison.
And I know what the director of this. Let me see.
I believe he did Zookeeper.
He did. Yeah. He did Zookeeper. The Water Boy.
Why he's not in prison for that, I don't know.
Yeah.
He did The Wedding Singer also.
I was going to say, wow.
Wait, he did The Wedding Singer?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's done about 3 Adam Sandler productions.
He's gone way downhill.
Wow, yeah.
But I was going to say, he did Zookeeper. That's a step up since I walked out of Zookeeper. But with this one, oh, wait.
But you walked out because you had to.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I don't walk out of movies no more. I don't think anybody.
No. The thing is, it never got so bad that I felt like, fuck this. I had to go.
Well, as soon as you did, I was really thinking, wow, I want to join him, because you kept on looking at that goddamn Indiglo watch of yours where I was about to have an epileptic seizure
I'm
because
sorry.
how many times you were checking that thing, and it made my movie experience that much worse.
Now, I wasn't checking it just because I was going like, how much longer, will I tolerate this? No, there was a certain point I had to leave.
Okay.
But I will say that at the point where I had to leave, it wasn't one of those like, oh, man, I'm going to miss the rest. I was just like, yeah, life goes on.
Okay, with a movie like this, yes, it's dumb, but the question is, can you turn off your brain and just have a good time? And with Here Comes the Boom, the answer is no. No, you can't.
So what's the movie about, Brian?
Basically, Kevin James has to save the rec center.
Yeah.
He's
really
basically Adolfo Flabadoo. And
What? Shabadoo, what?
Yeah. And basically, he's a teacher who decides the only way they can raise the money to save the music department, even though he's not the music teacher, is to enter MMA fighting, because apparently this motherfucker's never heard of Kickstarter.
All right.
He pretty much summed it all up.
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. I mean,
Yeah.
and the only details I would add is that Fonzie is the music director, who's
Henry Winkler?
Yeah,
Henry Winkler.
Yeah, I mean, and he's just kind of like an old sad sack. At this point.
Paycheckarino.
He's a sad sack of balls, that guy is.
and you know they got an asshole principal who's like, and the budget is slight, and fuck the music department.
Yeah, he's not just like a bureaucrat. He's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm not just gonna fire you. I'm gonna get in front of the whole school and tell them the music department sucks and music is worthless. And I'm like, really, dude?
Yeah. And he's
really.
he's such a douchebag that there's a transition in his character at the end of the movie that makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Oh, man.
No sense. But I mean, the way Kevin James' character gets into MMA is that he actually teaches a night class in English. Basically trying to get people to
ESL,
citizenship.
yeah.
So he realizes that one of the guys he's trying to help out used to be a former MMA fighter.
Hey, why would you pass on the UFC?
You're not ready for a fight like this.
You realize we're $6,000 away and the semester's almost over?
It's too dangerous.
Yeah, but this could be one and done.
Hey, the UFC's the real deal, all right? It's big time. There's no broken cages or chickens running around.
Okay, you know what? I gotta be honest. I don't see what the problem is.
Oh, yeah, okay. You know the problem? The problem is we're the same age, and I can kick your...
Maybe we should, You know, he's up. He's okay.
So that's how he, starts to think. He's hanging out with that guy and his friends, and they're watching an MMA fight. And I guess the guy tells him, "Hey, man, that guy who lost, he just made like this much money." And Kevin James was like, "That guy made that much for fucking losing?" And that's where this whole thing sprouts.
Hey, my
out.
fat ass can do that.
I can fucking lose.
it's
I'm a
sadly
natural born.
indicative
I'm
of
a
his-
natural born loser. Yeah.
It's sadly indicative of Kevin James' career. Really? You can get paid to lose?
Yeah.
You can get paid to fail?
That is his entire career.
and the thing
Write
is,
what you know.
and as much as you like, you're not really digging what's going on. He's flirting with Salma Hayek through the whole movie,
What, is she the-
half-heartedly.
Is she the Spanish teacher?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
she's-
no,
she's the
actually,
nurse.
She's a
Yeah,
nurse.
she-
Somehow
yeah.
they're keeping her job, but Henry Winkler has to go.
Yeah, I like how Adam Sandler likes to play musical chairs with her and his buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, okay, Kevin James is now, okay, first he was with the hot ass Rosario Dawson. Now he's hooking up with Salma Hayek. Fucking
I know
really?
Adam Sandler's like running an acting train on this girl.
Yeah, I know. They
Just
just pass him around. It's like,
handing her to her friends. I mean, yeah.
I'm done with her.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
just so you know,
Hey, Kevin,
what you
you-
taste is me.
Yeah, Kevin, you want some of this action?
But the thing is, you would think, like, after all this, you're sitting there, none of the jokes, like, I don't mean like most of the jokes fall flat. I mean, they all fall flat. There's not a single laugh going on.
And Leon, you left, so just to let you know, they continue to not go anywhere.
I had no doubts. And then the premise is dumb, and the editing is horrible. I mean, it really just cuts from one scene to the next. You don't get to know anybody's character. So you would think, if nothing else, all your animosity, it would get released when you got to see Kevin James get his ass beat over and over. And
Because it's something you wanted to do the whole movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
except you don't. Like, after a few hits, it's like, enough already. It's like, he's already dead.
I was
let him die.
I was talking to myself in the theater going, I should be enjoying these scenes where Kevin James is getting the fuck beaten out of him, but he still manages to rob that from me as well because it's so poorly edited. They make MMA fighting look like just fucking two little kids wrestling in the dirt.
As in talking to yourself, what you mean is you yell throughout the theater, "Don't deny me this! Don't take my revenge!"
It became like the Roman Coliseum. He's like, kill him! Kill him!
Co-host gets up and pulls up a big mechanical hand and thumbs down. You know?
Yeah, the one thing that could have redeemed this movie is if the fight scenes were good. You know, it could have been that step-up principle. As long as the
Right.
dancing's good.
Right.
As long as the fighting was good in this movie, we would have had a good time. Unfortunately, it's edited in the way that it's like, okay, this way Kevin James can't possibly take a punch. And it's like, oh, well, God forbid. God forbid he get punched in his fat face.
Yeah, I like when Brian said it just made him want to watch Warrior again.
It did. I want to go home
Yeah.
and watch. See, that's the thing. Is like, you can't even call this movie cliche because that would be too kind. This movie is fucking plagiarizing every other good movie that you've seen. It's like, oh, what worked in Warrior? What worked in Rocky? What worked in Dead? There's a Dead Poet Society scene where he realized no one's listening to him in his classroom, so he climbs up on the desks and suddenly he's an inspiring teacher. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
fuck you.
Yeah, and you have
And then
that
the desk
shitty-
collapses.
Yeah, that would have been that. No, that wouldn't have been funny.
No.
What am I thinking? No, but during that scene, you get the same cliched scene of you see the teacher who he's interested in looking at him while he's entertaining his class, and all of a sudden it's like in her brain it's like, he's not so bad after all.
He is fuckable.
I
some
think
reason.
he's getting me wet right now. And like, really, how many times do we
See-
have to see the same shit over and over?
Okay,
and
when
over?
you say that, that makes me think that I might have checked out anyway. Because in Zookeeper, when it's like, hey, he's going to hook up with Rosario Dawson, like, I don't need to watch this. I'm out of
And
here.
the problem is that this movie does not earn 1 ounce of the emotional resonance of those other movies. And what it tries to do is use the most schmaltzy, saccharine score, like to the point that my eyes felt sticky.
Wait a minute. There was emotional resonance in Zookeeper?
No. Okay. In good movies, damn it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
towards the animals.
But it's like, it's like the score is so fucking manipulative. It's like, we're telling you should feel happy right now. And the rest of the audience was like, oh, we're happy right now. And it's like, why?
Especially with the embarrassing dialogue. It was like, well, you should follow your dreams. And you hear that fucking piano coming. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
The score provided, apparently.
Sorry.
If only that was the real score.
And what's funny about that is in the first scene when he walks into
I'm
the
not a
music
composer.
class, he's walking into a high school music class, but they're playing the score perfectly.
Oh, I know, which
It's
is
like-
done by the London Symphony
I'm
Orchestra.
like, fuck you, especially cello. I'm looking at you.
The best part was the Asian kid it was the Filipino kid that in that score there was absolutely no piano being played at all, yet she's on the piano.
And she gets okay, I'm sorry, like this is not even cliche anymore, it's just racist. But she's like the only Asian character in the movie. So of course she's gotta be the one that's like, my dad's making me quit music to work in the restaurant. He says school is worthless. I'm like, that's fucking racist.
Hey,
Plus,
look,
it's wrong. It's
look.
the Chinese kids who have to work
Right.
at parents' restaurants.
You're not even
her-
correct in your racism.
But the thing is, her dad needed a dishwasher, and that's what women are put on this earth
Yeah.
to do is wash women.
Yeah.
So that was very.
My
very,
dad
very
says
correct.
school is stupid. Like, really? An Asian kid whose
Wait a minute.
parents said
That's-
school is stupid?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Wait a minute. You said that it was an Asian kid?
Yes.
Yes.
She's Filipino.
That's just blatantly wrong.
I know. Yeah, that makes no sense.
I mean, they're the ones. It's actually the opposite.
Yeah.
They're the ones who said, you cannot do anything else but go to school
Right,
and
but the
come
whole
home and
like
do
my
homework.
dad's shop, I got to go work at my dad's shop. It was like, okay, that seems a little. And then when they were like, because school's worthless, I'm like, what?
Did we mention that this was written by Kevin James?
Yes, that's right. He is the co-writer.
I think it was written by a kidney stone that Kevin James passed one night.
I think Kevin James wrote this as he was getting his ass beat. No season.
No, I think he wrote this while he was wiping his ass and turned it in. It's like,
This
here you go.
script has more holes than Kevin James tidy whities. It is fucking ridiculous.
It also follows that Happy Madison, that tradition, that formula they have, where you have a character who's basically a reprobate and a fuck up, but somehow they have that little heart of gold, but they still love kids, so that makes them okay. It's like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
It also makes them a felon in a lot of states.
And there were some other cameos in this movie.
I mean, you got Henry Winkler as the music teacher.
Yeah, we said that. And
and I don't know.
Don't forget about Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, that's the one I'm
yes.
thinking about.
Because he is now the face of
Joe
MMA.
Rogan
Yeah.
is apparently Santa Claus in this movie. There's a scene where it's like, oh, how did this happen? Was it you? No, it was Joe Rogan. And it's not played for laughs. It's literally like, no, this was all thanks to Joe. And he like nods. And I'm like, but you have nothing to do with this guy.
Yeah.
Why,
Yeah,
what?
It's like, why is Joe Rogan looking for fucking fighters in the goddamn junkyards? Because I mean, he's not like playing professional plays. Kevin James, when he's out, doing his MMA stuff, he's doing it in the most seedy of places.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a step above cockfighting, but there actually are chickens walking around.
Yeah, really. They're actually chickens were actually characters in the movie. They're more interesting.
Baraka from Street Fighters back then.
I was waiting for Wolverine to
More like
walk
Rhode
on.
Island Red, but yeah.
But it made no sense. Like, why, out of all the talent that you could find out there, out of all the guys who were beating the fuck out of Kevin James's character,
Yeah.
why did Joe Rogan all of a sudden look? Oh, I know why. It's called a check. Oh,
No,
yeah,
I want the
get it.
tubby guy who's getting better at
Yeah.
fighting for no reason.
Yeah, he probably wanted a loser, so he could bet against him. The funny thing about this film is that
Oh, there's something funny about this film?
there is something funny about it.
Of course,
believe it or
about to
not.
enlighten us.
Pray tell.
It's very amusing. Somebody told me, they saw the trailer. They said, "Man, have you seen the trailer for Here Comes the Boom?" And I was like, "No." I said, "What is this?" And they said, "Oh man, Kevin James. This is like his serious role."
Oh my god! What was like the wrestler?
I'm like, "What?" And then on top of that, they said, "Yeah, man, and he's buff."
Jesus.
You see it? I was like, and I looked at the trailer and I was like, and I'm like, I don't really want to know who the fuck told me that.
That motherfucker looks like chewed bubble gum when he's fucking rolling around with these guys. I mean, he's flabby.
You lose
There ain't
your glasses that day?
Yes, there ain't nothing. No, there because I heard the same thing. Everyone was saying, "Oh man, he's really pulling out all the stops and like he's training for this. He's getting prepared. He's muscling up." And when you see the movie, you're like, "Where the fuck was all the muscle
Christian
go?"
Bale's like, "Fuck you."
The thing is, he did pack on muscle, but he didn't lose any of the fat.
Oh, the fat. I was about to say, what muscles he working out? His jaw muscles when he's chewing food up.
He's blowing Sandler for a job.
Speaking of fat jokes, though, the high point of this was there's a scene where Kevin James is making fat jokes to another fat guy, like insulting a fat guy. Where I'm like, motherfucker, you have not earned that right. You didn't lose that much weight, asshole.
Yeah. I don't know what he's thinking. He did a few curls and a couple of sit-ups, and now he's thinking like, oh, yeah. I can laugh at all the fat asses.
He's hanging out with all his skinny friends now. Hey, guys, look at him. He's fat.
Maybe they're all fucking with him. Maybe they actually make him think he's full of muscle. You know, maybe it's a very elaborate Adam Sandler joke that's going on. Right
Yeah, I hope so.
Maybe he did. You know what? Maybe he thought he was making the Warrior Part 2.
See, he's not on Slim Fast. He's on Slim Eventually.
It's kind of sad when the funniest thing that you hear about the movie are stories from the theater and not even from the movie itself. Brian came in telling me, speaking of fat people, Brian told me he said so there was a fat guy sitting next to him and it was just kind of leaning in on him and it's his
Oh, and then he had a bag over his shoulder too, which was poking me, and I just kept thinking, if this was Southwest Airlines, this motherfucker would have had to buy my seat too.
I know. I was like, well, are you sure you weren't sitting next to Kevin Smith?
and Brian said like he kind of did like a muffin top thing with the seat where he was spilling over.
And he loved the movie.
He was jiggling his shit. Yeah.
That actually sounds funnier than the movie.
and when the guy got up to go to the bathroom or get some more snacks or something, but Brian said he went ahead and just moved one chair down, and the guy came back, and even though Brandon moved over his seat, the guy came back and sat right next to Brian again. I think Brian, you know what I think? I think
his marker.
Oh, God.
Brian, I think he was actually so fat that he actually spilled over to you 2 seats.
God damn it.
Attacked by fat.
Like the blob, yeah.
He was fat and stupid, and this movie's target audience.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You know what? We're ready to get ratings here, but before we do that, is there anything? I always do this whenever we all go against, when we just rail against a movie. I always say, is there anything good about it?
No.
You know what? there's nothing good. However, there's one character, Nico, the one who's teaching him MMA fighting. I don't know who this guy is. I imagine he was a real fighter at some point. There was something about him, this actor, the way he just seemed to be having such a good time, like really threw himself into it, where I was like, you know what? I like this guy. I wish he was in a different movie. That's honestly the best I could say. I mean,
I wish I could back you up. I can't.
he was just so happy to be
liked
in there
him.
and doing stuff. Yeah. He was charming. I was like, it's too bad they're not giving him anything funny to say.
But you know what?
He's
At
got
least
nobody
with
to play
him,
off of.
when his jokes didn't work, you could blame it on the fact that he probably doesn't speak English very well.
Right. Yeah.
But
He
you know
said
what?
do
You know
some
what
hollering
really
or something.
killed it? Because I mean, there was moments where I did think that if this guy was better written, he'd be somebody I could latch onto.
this Nico guy?
To like hold my hand throughout this whole fucking movie. But they made him do like these stupid dances every time he got excited, and there was just
When things would get twisted,
Yeah,
as you
when
would say.
that was like their go-to thing for this guy to have like something quirky about him, and I couldn't stand it.
Well, I mean, there's too much of the humor that relies on, hey, they're foreigners. Aren't foreigners funny?
Get it?
Well, that guy had to dance for his money because his parents thought school was stupid and he didn't want to go. So, I'm just gonna. Can I just go out on a limb here and just save everybody some time and say that this is probably a bullshit on everybody's part?
Hey, man, it's not bullshit. It's here comes the bullshit.
Came
Yeah, no,
twice.
What's funny is like you have movies that are based on novels or comic books. This movie's based on a one-hit wonder song from the year 2000 by P.O.D.
Yeah.
So
And if that doesn't get a fuck you, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm giving it a fuck you, by the way. I
See,
know.
because I had to leave. I can't quite go fuck you,
Right.
but from what I saw,
No,
well, I stayed. Fuck you.
No, it is a fuck you. I mean, at the end of this movie, I mean, I was looking at Brian. We were both very miserable, but the audience were eating it up so much. You know, I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm not the fucking crazy one here, okay? I am not crazy.
It's a madhouse.
That's how it felt. But yeah, that motherfucker just reminds me of that goddamn Starship Trooper fucking smart worm that fucking sucks your brains out, you know, and you're watching it and you can't help but go, stop it! Leave me alone!
Co-host, if there's one good thing I can say about all this is that you've been fucked by Kevin James so many times, but you know what? He always calls back.
I wish that motherfucker would buy me dinner, that bastard.
He's too busy eating your share.
You know, a lot of reason he gets fucked by Kevin James is because he always believes in his old buddy Adam Sandler, who goes, hey, cuz, I'm gonna come over and bring my friend Kevin James.
Yeah, that's what Adam Sandler tells co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can fuck me, but you gotta fuck my friend too.
Stop looking at me, co-host.